Hello friends, welcome to Psycho. Today's video is very interesting. It is dealing with the psychological defense mechanism and how our ego defends. It is one of the interesting theory which was proposed by Freud and developed by Anna Freud, the daughter of Sigmund Freud. In this video, how we defend ourselves during certain anxiety arousal situations and how we cope up with this defense mechanism. Let's see. So how exactly our defense mechanism work? When psychological equilibrium is threatened by severe emotion trauma, frustration or conflicts, the mind resorts to a variety of protective system called mental mechanism. So most of them, it includes self-deception, individual not fully aware of their presence or purpose and resents having his attention called to them. Rather than being pathological, ego defenses are normal behavior actually. It can have adaptive value provided by, and they do not become a style of life that enables the individual to avoid facing reality. The defenses employed depend on the individual level of development and degree of anxiety. And if you take what are the main characteristics of this defense mechanism is, they either deny or distort the reality. They operate on an unconscious level. Whatever you're defending, it's not at all taking your awareness, or not at all you're feeling conscious that you're talking on reality basis. It's totally distorted. And there are various defense mechanisms, but most of the defense mechanisms, we are suppressing the facts. We are suppressing the consciousness, and we are suppressing our attention towards the reality. So basically, defense mechanism, they include suppression, regression, repression, or shunning. So one of the major defense mechanism is a repression. Here, the threatening or painful thoughts and feelings are excluded from the awareness. It is also called selective forgetting. It is the basis of many other ego defenses and neurotic disorders also. Freud explained repression as an involuntary removal of something from consciousness. It is assumed that most of the painful events of the first 5 or 6 years of life are buried, yet these events do influence later behavior. So there are many repressive painful feelings experienced in a life where you want to forget it. Even though you wantedly forget it, it gets into unconsciousness and still it is there in your mind. So next one is a denial. So denial of reality is perhaps the simplest way of all self-defense mechanisms. It is a way of distortion what the individual thinks, feels, or perceives in a traumatic situation. This mechanism is similar to repression, yet it is generally operates at preconscious and conscious levels, which we have already discussed, that is preconscious, nothing but subconscious level. And denial, you can see the pictures, the individual does not accept the existence of something that is disturbing. For example, if I failed in my examination, still I believe that I am qualified in my examination, I passed in my examination. Even the people say to me that I'm very obese and I'm very fat, still I'm feeling that, they couldn't see my body structure properly. I'm very fit, I'm very healthy, even though I'm obese or something. And people who often gets into breakup or something, they still believe that, no, I don't have any girlfriend or I don't have any boyfriend. So they are denying the facts. And the major example is like if a mother lost a child, or she thinks that I don't have any child, or I have a child, he's still existing, or he or she is still alive. So it's like a denying. You're denying the facts. The next one is a reaction formation. So here, activity expressing the opposite impulses. So it's like a in Telugu we say like a Usirivalli Tattvam. Like in this, like individual may conciliate with a facade of love, be extremely nice when they harbor negative reactions, or mask cruelty with excessive kindness. So here, by developing conscious attitudes and behavior that are diametrically opposed to disturbing desires, people do not have to face the anxiety that would result if they were to recognize this dimension of themselves. Individuals may conceal like hate with a love, with a facade of love. So it is to reduce the anxiousness and reduce the frustration and anger and aggression towards a person. So you are converting that thing into positive way, but still you have that bad thought towards that particular person in your unconscious mind. The next one is projection, which is very interesting. You're attributing your desires which are unacceptable or impulses on others. So the best example of projection is it's like a self-deception where lustful, aggressor, or other impulses are seen to be seen as being possessed by the those people out there, but not by me. It's like I'm not bad person. You are the bad person. You are committing those sins. I'm not. And projection is very common with between the relationship between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, where mother-in-law always projects our past experiences of being daughter-in-law with some mother-in-law. She same projects the same things with her own daughter-in-law also. And the next one is you can see the picture here, you're projecting yourself, you're feeling it's not me, it's you, it's not you, it's me, all these things. And the other interesting is like rationalization. See, a rationalization is like you're putting a logic which is not at all true reality. It's like a bruised ego. It's like having a good reasons. The best example of this ration is uh, so great attitude, so sweet lemon attitude, even though you have opportunities, if you're not if you're not getting that opportunities, or if you're not getting into that, you will feel that it's none of my business, it's not okay with me. You will search negative stuff from that, even though there is no negative stuff with that. Yeah, they often use these phrases like a slow but sure, beautiful but dumb, the holy crusade for the benefit of larger world. So the best way of rationalize, if you religious sectors, they always do rationalization, you are sent to heaven if you do certain acts or something. But actually, it's not doing bad things with a good rationale. It's not a good thing, and most of the people they often use this rationalization, unfortunately. See here, you can see this fox story where there's a grapes where it finds the grapes, and it jumps. At last, it couldn't taste even a single grape there. So it thinks that the grapes are bitter. It's a waste of they're bitter and they're so it is a waste of catching the grapes, or and it's totally turns a rationalization defense mechanism here. And the next is sublimation. Yes, sublimation, it's a very interesting one. It's a positive defense mechanism from all over the defense mechanism. Here, we do have energies which is negative and positive. If the energy is negative, we usually divert it into some socially acceptable and sometimes even admirable channels. Like for example, aggressive impulses can be channelized into athletic activities so that the person finds a way of expressing aggressive feelings, and an added bonus it is often praised also. And also Freud used to take best example from Dante poetry. Dante is a person who has lots of sexual feelings and lots of uh, pleasure oriented person. So his own feelings he sublimated to some literary works and artistic works, novels and paintings, which became very famous and popular. So in this, you can see a picture. Whenever you feel so anxious or angry with a person, just go and do some exercise and do some do go and play, and and punching bag, or watering your plants, or doing some work, or washing dishes, or running, walking, jogging, all this physical activity. So one of the positive defense mechanism, I prefer it, and whenever I use same technique, whenever I feel anxious or angry with the things, I just go and I just wash the dishes, and I feel so comfortable. I release my that anxiousness and aggression towards the things, so that I feel normal by the end of the cleaning the dishes. And it's a regression. There's a difference between repression and regression. Regression is like going back to earlier phase of development. You're behaving like a child. You're behaving like a adolescent or a teenage guy, where repression means you are forcing your conscious level into unconscious level. That means you are forcefully you are forgetting the things which are bad experiences. So yeah, regression, uh, yeah, the person may face some sort of challenge, and he attempts to cope with their anxiety by clinging to immature and inappropriate behavior. For example, children who are frightened in school may indulge in infantile behavior such as weeping, excessive dependence, thumb sucking, hiding, or clinging to the teacher, and bedwetting also. So these are all the things where you reversing the developing process. You are going back to the developing process. So introduction is a very interesting one. Here taking and swallowing the values and standard of others, it has both positive and negative. To take positive forms of introduction includes like incorporation of parental values or good or moral values, or taking the inspiration and attributing the values of the person, assuming that these are not merely uncritically accepted. And the other negative example of this introduction is concentration camps, which is famous in communist nations like China and Russia, where some of the prisoners dealt with overwhelming anxiety by accepting the values of the enemy through identification with the aggressor. So these are the examples of introduction. It has both positive and negative also. Like Steve Jobs is one of the negative introduction, and whereas a positive introduction is like a Bill Gates. Identification, which is very interesting, where a person identify with a person or organization or with the nation also here. So identifying with the successful causes, organizations or people in the hope that you will be perceived as worthwhile. So others person's success is your success. It's your identification. And identification can enhance the self-worth also and protect one from a sense of being a failure. This is a part of developmental process by which children learn gender role behavior, but it can also be a defense reaction also when used by people who feel basically inferior. Like if you identify with a heroine or a hero, you just imitate them, and sometimes you feel so inferior also. Why I'm not as beautiful as an actor, or why I'm not possessing powers like Shaktiman, or why I'm not getting skills like what I'm worshipping, what I am doing, what I worshipping a hero, or and most of identification it will be aroused during the adolescence age, where it is common for adolescent to worship a hero or heroine. Like they take inspiration from them and they want to imitate those things. And compensation or substitution, where we do all the people are not perfect in all the spheres. A few people have perfection in a particular field or in particular area, and in other field or area you may not have enough talent, skill or knowledge about it. So here a person, what he is doing means, here he is compensating with a thing which he know, the thing which he possesses skill. So best example is Sachin Tendulkar. Even though he failed in 10th class, he discovered his own passion, that is called cricket. So but that he compensated his thing with the cricket, with getting into sports. So that's why compensation or substitution is the best way of defense mechanism. But a few people couldn't get compensation or substitution of any field or any skill or any knowledge. So they may fall into stress or depression also. Sometimes it may disturb the self-confidence and self-esteem of a person also. So here you can see compensation is like an attempt to make up for a deficiency by directing his energies to another aspect of one's personality in which no deficiency exists. So there are other defense mechanisms also, like fantasy or daydreaming, which is very common with the adolescence age, and then with the old age, where a old age person is thinking about his youthful stages and he's fantasizing how he used to be in the college days. And withdrawal, people who often think that I'm a failure, I'm not at all. There's chances of failure in that thing, so they withdraw from the things. And these people mostly they don't have enough confidence, and they don't have enough backup and support system. And intellectualization is like you're using logic, whatever it comes in your life. For example, you got divorced from your husband or from your wife. You are logically said that she doesn't love me, so that's why it's okay to be divorced, and it's a normal thing also. So people who use intellectualization, they don't get with emotion, they go with the head, not with the heart. And the negative stuff with the defense mechanism is like if you're excessively using the defense mechanism, it may lead to some sort of delusion of grandeur, delusion of reference, and it may lead to some sort of hallucinations also, which are which are the psychotic symptoms. Whereas delusions are like neurotic symptoms, and may sometimes a person may turn into neurotic also. So you need to be aware that are you using the defense mechanism appropriately or excessively. If a person is using excessively, it may turn into some sort of a psychological imbalances, and it may not work with a reality, rather than he go on imagining or fantasizing his own things. Okay, friends, I think you got the ego defenses, how we defend ourselves to a certain stimulus and to a certain problematic situation. And thanks for watching. It is one of the famous quote which was given by Anna Freud, daughter of Sigmund Freud. Here you can see the photo of Anna Freud and Sigmund Freud. So the Anna Freud says that I was always looking outside myself for strength and confidence, but it comes from within. It is there all the time. So people who are using excessive defense mechanism, they need to get in a positive way, rather than going in a negative usage of the defense mechanism. They are like positive identification, positive compensation, and the other thing is sublimation, which is very excellent way of taking our negative energies into positive way. Okay, thank you for watching video. If you have any doubts, please comment in the below section, and do subscribe